What is up, guys? Orbital-Pilot back here once again in the world of Warthunder. This time, taken out to the sky in the ME-163 for an initial impressions. Now, before we get into the gameplay, I did want to say something real quick. I just want to thank you guys for just the skyrocket in the channel. We are past 5 digits now for averaging minutes watched, which is absolutely insane. We're over 10,000 now averaging, and it's just incredible. Subscribers are coming in much more frequently, so thank you guys for that. Thank you guys for all the participation in the last video, but let's get into the actual gameplay. Now, tell me, do you like a plane with terribly slow cannons? Do you like a plane with 6 minutes of fuel? Do you like a plane that is not only difficult to land, but probably the most difficult to land in the entire game? If you answered yes to any of those questions, this is the plane for you. Now, alright, now, I know it makes it sound like an absolutely terrible plane, and if you look at the stats, well, it is. Don't get me wrong, the top speed is amazing, the turn time is amazing, but it just has that 6 minutes of fuel, which is major limiting. Now, what you're seeing here is my second game in the ME-163 ever. The first one I did was when I unlocked it probably 1 or 2, 3 months ago, somewhere around then. Instantly died, but today I figured, you know what, I need a plane that people are gonna like to watch. So I know this is quite a popular plane that's talked about, so I figured I would take it out. And its cannons are just, I mean, they're the ones on the ME-262. If you have flown that, you know what I mean. Their velocity is so incredibly slow. Don't get me wrong, if they hit, it's like throwing a brick at a plane. The problem is getting them to hit. Now, what I did in this video was I climbed immediately for 1 minute at a 30-degree climb. I didn't go for altitude, I didn't go for anything. I'm specifically looking at saving my fuel. So I climbed immediately. I think I got around 3,500, 4,000 meters. Keep in mind, this plane is fully, or it's not upgraded at all, like 0 upgrades. So don't expect anything major performance-wise. But I did get fairly high, and from then I coasted on. Now, luckily enough, we have a bunch of meteors and F2H2s turn fighting for some weird reason. When in reality, these guys hold all of the advantages, which I find just hilarious. Now, don't get me wrong, the meteors actually will outturn you, and if it's a 1v1, it's a really good fight. It's going to come down to probably who's the better pilot, or if you run out of fuel, it's going to, you know, be who has the more fuel, which is going to be the meteor. Now, right here, you're trying to see me aim these cannons. I'm aiming way further ahead. I get a fairly good shot right there. Sadly enough, kind of bounces off of his plane, and Warthunder takes the kill. That's fine with me, though. It is my first match. I'm not expecting a whole lot. Now, I said I'm not expecting a whole lot. This is kind of where the plane just came in, and it really just took my breath away, in a way. Like I said, cannons are terrible, 6 minutes of fuel. But for some weird reason, the plane is great, and I think I know why. It's one of those planes that fits into the meta really well. And as we can see there, once the cannons do actually hit, they hit like a brick. And these are stock rounds, so I'm imagining it's only going to get better from here. Now, when I initially took out this plane, I was kind of ready to do a bash on it. You know, I was expecting terrible things. I was not even expecting to get a kill. I was sorely mistaken, though. Now, there is an F2H and an ME-262 dogfighting. I'm going to go help him. There's not a lot I can do with 9 cannon rounds, though, especially not with my current aim. So, yeah, it's not going to end well. But for some reason, I believe the F2H2 actually crashes, so kind of get lucky there. But anyways, going on why I think the ME-163 is decent. Because if people played to their advantages, this plane would be absolute, well, garbage. Not because of the plane performance, but because of its limiting factors like the 6 minutes of fuel. For instance, if this F2H2 simply dove and kept his speed high throughout the match, same thing goes with the Meteor, I would simply not be able to catch them, or actually I would be able to catch them, but it would take longer than those 6 minutes to catch them. So basically I would never actually be able to engage in combat with another plane. So right here I actually turn around, I'm going to head towards base. The game is going to end before that, and so I am going to go into some better gameplay, I guess you could say. But let's talk more about this plane. Why I find it so good is because it fits into the meta, and I know I've said that, but I'm going to explain why. So basically, in these early jet matches, and even later jet matches, what happens is that the people who are smart, or not even really smart, the people who like to play a little bit more slowly, go and gather their speed, get their altitude, and come in. However, there is a group of people that just go immediately into the dogfight and start, well, dogfighting. I'm looking at you, you know, ME-262s and, well, okay, that was weird. I'm looking at you, ME-262s and MiG-15s. They really like to engage in combat in dogfights right away. Now, that gives you a golden opportunity. And that's for two things. First things first, you do turn better, other than Meteors. But the Meteor and the ME-163 they're so close that it's really going to come down to, like I said, who's the better pilot. So you have this group of people dogfighting in the middle of the map, and then you have this plane that performs excellent at low speeds. It has an insane acceleration rate, obviously, it's a rocket plane, it's going to. And you have people try to go and fight this plane on its own turf. That's not wise. If you're smart, such as these F-86, you're going to go, maybe go on a head-on pass, I would take that. And you're going to go fly away. You're going to wait till he's out of fuel. That would be the smart and logical thing to do. But here's the thing. People don't do that. And that's why this plane seems to work out. I flew 3 matches. All 3 matches were great. Now, I do end up getting killed in this one, but that's once again because I run out of fuel. It's the limiting factor for this plane. But here's where we see a Meteor Mark, what is this, a G41. Like I said, the Meteor will outturn you. However, I believe I might be a more experienced pilot than this current pilot fighting me. I'm using both motor at 100% and at 0% to not increase my turn time, but get it to where he's not going to be able to shoot me. For instance, right here, do an aileron roll to the left, he's not going to be able to get guns on me. Now right here, I do get, well, kind of lucky, let's be honest. But like I said, the acceleration on this plane makes it so that when I go into the vertical, I can keep a stable speed, and the engine revs up incredibly fast. It's not like a jet motor where you have to wait those 5 to 15 seconds for the actual engine to wind up. It's pretty much instantaneously, which means you get instantaneous thrust. Now right here, I thought the Meteor was going to start running away. I was not going to have any of that, but he does turn back in like a smart pilot. Right now, this Meteor he is fully devoted. If he runs away, I will catch him. He only has one option, and that is to continue the dogfight. Now, he is a really, really decent pilot, and if I was a better shot, he would have been toast right there. Sadly enough, though, yeah, he crashes, and that's the advantage of having a rocket plane in a dogfight. That instant acceleration that you don't get with any other plane. And that's why I was able to withstand and endure that dogfight far longer than he was. F2H2 comes in, simply fly under him. He's not going to be able to hit me. I thought he was going to hit the ground, but he does get lucky and pulls up. Now right here, I'm wondering why the plane is accelerating so slow. I forget to take off combat flaps. That seems to be a common problem with me, so that's probably one thing to improve on for sure. Now, if this F2H2 was smart, he would simply extend away. However, he's kind of getting greedy. He probably thinks I'm low on fuel, which I'm really not. And he's going to go into a dogfight with me. Not a wise idea. Now, the Meteor I can understand. And F2H2, though, like, come on, man. That is not the way to go with that plane. An F2H2 dives again. I get really lucky that he misses his shots. Take a couple shots, like I said, extremely low velocity cannons. Cannot put them on target. But he does come back around. And this was unwise because now he's low, he's slow, he cannot out-accelerate a rocket plane by any means. And I do finally get guns on target. So to wrap this up, this plane is far better than I thought it was going to be. It fits into the meta really well. At least I personally believe that. And it's probably actually a plane that I will fly out to grind a little bit. Now I do have the D-13, so it's going to be my primary focus. But it is a much better plane than I thought it was going to be. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of this plane. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.